What's up YouTube? Back for another video. Going to be sitting down with Mr. Jack Ward today. Jack is the secret weapon. He's the silent assassin that's had his record month last month in sales, as you can see by the title. So going to be sitting down and filming a podcast with Jack today. We're going to be diving super deep on his journey, his philosophy in sales, what we do together. I manage an offer, he's the current top rep on that offer. So yeah, we're just gonna be diving super deep. We're probably gonna get a little bit esoterical as well with some of the philosophy that we talk about when it comes to personal development. So if you can sit through it and you can really just ingest what we're gonna speak about, you're going to come away from this video with some lessons and hopefully we can shift your paradigm. So enjoy. Mr. Jack.
Alrighty, bro.
Let's get into it, bro. So, first question, and where I want to start is what I usually do with this podcast, bro, with people is where people start from. So I want to go all the way back to day one, because I think when you look at these podcasts or when you think about people that do really well in sales, one thing I've noticed is everyone has such a unique background, and they have this like catalyst moment, or they have this childhood, or they've always done some really cool experience or hobby which has like allowed them to excel in sales. They have some form of advantage. So that's why I love to know everyone's life story, where we can go back and then we can really start to understand maybe there's some things that happen for you. So let's go back, bro. What's the earliest memory that you have of wanting to make money online, like get into sales?
I think it's about 16, bro.
Yeah?
16 years old. I don't know, I think that's when something shifted within me, where I knew there was more to this reality than what we've been told. And it went from a point of sort of spirituality, where I'm diving deep into that aspect of my life and trying to question things in the world. And then I was like, well, I've got to be a part of the world. And there's this thing within me where I just want to be the best. And so I think that's when the seed was planted. And it sort of progressed from there, I guess.
Nice. Okay. So we'll go 16 was the first time. When did you actually start in sales? Like what was the first ever thing that you did?
Sure. So I think it's about a year and a half now, if that. It's been a bit of a fever dream to some degree. And I think my goal was, I was sort of bartending and work, like that was my job, my occupation. I've been traveling a lot, bumming around, right? Getting a lot of life experience, but not making a lot of money. No real direction, right? So I made a decision, I want to make money online. I think I tried the agency model like most people do, and failed because I just didn't put in the reps from the whole accountability myself. And I said, like, I'm gonna go to Thailand and I'm gonna make my first dollar online. I'm gonna train at a fight camp and gonna get closer to God.
Nice.
So those three things happened within the first week I got there, which is really interesting. The offer I got on, where I was appointment setting, everyone was talking about Christ and God, and I've never spoken to anyone like that before. I was like, wow, I'm having a real conversation. And then I was starting to make money. It was interesting. I was setting and confirming, so I confirmed make sure everyone was there, and then they put me straight into a setup. And I was training. So that was my first introduction to it. On that offer.
Cool. So that was the first introduction, and then what's been the journey since then? So that was the first introduction. What was the second role that you had? Like when did you start closing? Like what's the timeline from when you started there up until where we are now?
So essentially I was setting for a bit on that offer. And I wanted to close, but I don't know what it was. I just decided this is when I got introduced to sort of Josh Lyons' content, right? And the original guy who closed me on the previous sales coaching course I was on, he was a member there, and I saw his growth. I never closed before, and I just made a decision. And that offer was great. The manager was great, and he tried to keep me on, like he said, we can get you closed and stuff. But there was something within me. I was like, I'm just gonna just study maybe that's not the best route to go, but I just felt in my early stages, I'm gonna go join, make this big jump, invest into this mentorship, and just be surrounded by these people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like quite a few months I wasn't even closing. I think I was coping to some degree, trying to be perfect, putting a lot of pressure on myself. Eventually got into a closing offer. My first offer was fitness.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Closed my first deal as well. I was just so detached. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I closed.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a roller coaster of emotions getting into it.
Yep.
Putting a lot of pressure on myself.
Yep.
Got let go on that offer.
Yep.
I wasn't performing.
Yep.
I was costing the company money. And I was grateful to be let go because I was too
Yeah.
much of a pussy to just say, hey,
Yep.
I'm not performing, like I'm going to leave.
Do you feel like that was one of the best things that could happen for you as a sales
Definitely.
rep? Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because I wasn't aligning. What I was doing, there was this groundhog day of doing the same things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't getting me to where I needed to be.
Yep.
Right. And, but there was a sense of attachment because the investment to be in that mentorship was expensive. I was draining my account. Right. So there was it was a lot of stress and pressure, which now I would be able to overcome that just because I'm able to some degree, perfect that way of being.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah, that's sort of where we were.
And then where we are now, how did you find this specific offer? Because I'm guessing you jumped from that one to this one, or was there something in between?
There was one thing in between.
Okay.
I got an interview, like there was a group interview, I got the job.
Yep.
I think I closed in there for like a month. And I was actually doing well. It was Airbnb, but the sales manager quit. Essentially, there was no leads coming through. It was dry. And I was like, okay, well, this is not going to get me money. But I'm not going to make money here.
Yep.
So I think I found for this current offer online. And I applied, jumped on a call. And yeah, got the position.
Cool.
Right.
Nice.
As I do.
Yeah.
And that's where the journey began.
Cool.
With this offer.
Cool, man. And then how long have you been on this offer for? Timeline?
Before like just before the start of December, I would say.
Okay. So you could say like November until July. So it's probably been 6 months, 7 months on the offer, really.
That's pretty crazy to think about. Yeah.
Cool, man. So total timeline from like first sales role to today, how long's that been?
There's been gaps in between. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been closing consistently.
Yeah.
But I would say I've done 9 to 10 months of closing.
Okay.
Actual closing in a full-time offer.
So you could say that you've been properly in sales then for like a year, right? So you've gone from 0 to $29,000 in commissions in basically like 12 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, bro.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too fucking bad. Cool. All right. And then, so you've done that, but then I kind of just gave it away. But what did you finish at last month?
29K.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much cash collected as well, so that the people can know?
It was over 290K.
There you go.
Over
So it's basically
290K.
flat 10%,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No 14% commission, no 16% commission. That's like raw.
Yeah,
Essentially
raw.
making $300,000 in cash.
Yeah, raw 10%.
And that's your biggest month ever?
Biggest month, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that in a second. And we'll go into that, but what I want to go through is like the lessons you've learned along the way, and then probably the lessons that you've learned in like the past couple of months as well after hitting this month. So what do you feel like reflecting on the journey now that it's been officially closing for like 12 months probably? How do you feel like the journey's been? Like what do you feel like you've learned since being in sales? Do you feel like you've changed as a person? Like how has the experience been overall for you?
That's a difficult one to answer in one sentence.
Yeah.
For sure. Identity, who I am. That's the best way to describe it. Who I am now compared to who I was a year ago, two different people.
Yeah.
The way I operate, the way I see things, the way I view life, the way I talk and view myself, completely different. And that's crazy to see how much of a transformation you can have in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Right, and I would say a lot of that is just the past 3 months, 4 months since you joined as a manager.
Yeah.
Right, where you really started to dig deep.
Get the scalpel out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Beautiful, bro. What have you what did you learn from last month, having a record month, making like $29,000 in commissions? If we put the money aside and we sort of extract as much gold as we possibly can, one thing we focus on a lot is like the cause and effect actions that we took to get this specific result, right? Which I think a lot of people overlook is like, what got you here? Sometimes what they always say is what got you here isn't going to get you there. But when it comes to sales, like what got you here to 29K will get you there again. So it's like cause and effect, right?
Yeah.
What did you take away from last month? Like what are some of the biggest lessons finishing off June at $29,000 in commissions? What's some of the biggest things that you took away that allowed you to have that success?
With everything involved, consistency and congruency.
Yep.
First off, the biggest thing is identity and how we show up. I think you were planting seeds into all the boys' mind is we're professionals. We're not closers. There's a stigma with closing, where you're sort of needy. You're like trying to, objection handle and get the close. And but we're professionals.
Yep.
Right. I think a lot of closers lose that identity because we make so much money compared to the average person. I think we're a little bit delulu.
Yeah.
Right. So just holding that standard of a professional and operating from that way would be the biggest thing.
Okay.
As a baseline.
Okay. Let's dive into that because I think we have I think we're very aligned with our philosophy in sales, and it's unique, right? I think from my experience, from success that I've had, success that I help other people have, is that identity always comes first before the skill set.
Yep.
And results speak for themselves. Look at what you're achieving. So what when you say identity first, bro, like what do you feel like that means to you? What is your philosophy on sales? Why do you think that maybe role playing and all this like highly specific training all the time maybe is actually having a negative effect? Like what's your whole view on sales, your philosophy?
It's interesting because we didn't do any sales training at all. So how can I explain this in a short way? So detachment first off, right? For me, I was training myself, whether if I get a close, I'm detached. I don't get high. If I don't get a sale, I'm detached. I don't get low.
Yep.
Right? Because you've got to be congruent, right? If you're getting high on getting the closes, then congruency is you're going to get low on the lows. So you just got to have this almost, and so you introduce this term, stoicism.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing where I'm just completely detached, because at the end of the day, what we do is not that deep.
Yeah.
Words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that deep, bro. And I think we kept reinforcing that idea that this is not that deep, and there's this level of detachment.
Yep.
That comes with that, because you realize the purpose is so much deeper than sales. It's deeper than whatever we're experiencing right now. Right?
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I want to keep diving deeper on this because I think it's pretty, like if the people listening, I think, could just actually understand what we're about to say. Just like for context, I mean, I started managing this specific offer about just over 4 months ago. And I'm sure you're okay with me sharing this, bro, but when I joined the offer, Jack was one of 2 sales reps that was closing on the offer. And there was a specific conversation. The first conversation that me and Jack had was about leaving sales, right? And like getting out of sales. It was, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want you to expand on this, but I want to dive deeper into the timeline of like what we've done over the past like 3 to 4 months. So the specific conversation we had, bro, was, I don't know if sales is for me. I kind of want to get out of it. I'm not really enjoying it. It's kind of, I think most people, when you're in that state, it's kind of like a bit of an identity crisis, right? Because you're like, who am I? When you're not finding meaning, or when you're not attaching really good meaning to what you're doing on a daily basis, it's so hard to show up. And then you're trying to solve other people's problems on the calls. It's like when you don't have your shit in check and you're not aligned and you're not like so crystal fucking clear on your vision, where you want to go and why, it's so hard to like carry those other people's problems and solve them in real time. So how are you feeling in that moment, bro? When I came on, that kind of conversation we had? And also, why do you think like you were in that specific state? Do you think it was a lack of direction? Do you think it was a lack of purpose? Like, where do you think, like, what was the cause of that effect in that specific state?
Definitely both, right? Lack of purpose, lack of direction.
Yep.
Right? You opened the door for me to walk through.
Yep.
I remember that conversation because I remember having that conversation and thinking, fuck, this guy doesn't care if I stay or leave. He just wants me to come to the conclusion, because at the end of the day, and this is something I'm really understanding because management, and we'll get onto that, is the next step in stone, among other things. And it's like, you can't force one. The same with a prospect. You can't force them to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, you could sit there and you didn't sit there and say, hey, look, man, you can make this much money. Look where we're going to go. It's like, hey, let's really break this down and identify what you want. Where do you want to go?
Yep.
And I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but essentially that conversation, what happened is we got clear on not too much of what I'm doing, but also sort of like why I'm doing this, but more so what the next step is.
Yeah.
Giving me something else to focus on.
Yep.
So you're not stuck in this box where this is the be all end all of closing.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you realize there's a light at the end of the tunnel, there's a reason why you're doing this. You're more inclined to put in the work. You're motivated to do it.
Yep.
Right? It's, I don't know, to give a perspective, let's just say you're a bodybuilder. Right? And it's like, well, you're going to go on a cart, you're going to work out. But if you know why you're doing it, you know what the next step from this is, it's so you can do competitions, it's so you can then achieve X, Y, Z, then you're going to do what's required and you're going to be aligned with that.
Yep.
And it's not going to feel like work and you're going to be in love with the game.
100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that there's an analogy that I share with you boys all the time. It's like shoot for the moon and land on the stars. Right? And there's, and we'll dive deeper into this. I'm going to keep prompting you so we can get deeper, bro. But I think in that specific state, all I saw, bro, was when you have a lack of vision and a lack of clarity of like why you're doing what you're doing, and you're just in this echo chamber of like sales, it's almost like you're in this fucking washing machine. And like most sales rep that listen to this that maybe aren't making the commission they want, like you're probably fucking in this washing machine. Like you probably haven't actually sat down and like mapped out a clear vision of like why you're doing what you're doing, where you want to go. And I guess when you look at the high ticket sales space, like a lot of people probably fall into that. They're like, fuck, what am I going to do after closing? Is it like managing? Do I do sales coaching? I don't want to be a coach. It's like, there's not many people that have like very clearly laid out a pathway to like get out of closing and do something. So I think when you don't have such a crystal clear vision, when you're not sitting down and very intentionally planning where you're going, most people are what Napoleon Hill says, drifting, bro. They're just like a paper bag floating through the wind. 1 minute you're going this way, 1 minute you're going that way. So the principle behind this, bro, is like what we did was we shot the vision and the target of where you want to go and what you want to achieve so much further than just sales and so much further than just closing that it helps you realize it's like, oh my God, dude, like closing is just this like skill that I add to my tool belt of like 5 or 6 skills that I need to learn like over time. So we can dive deeper into this as well. I think this is very fascinating, but what I'm seeing now in managing it and teaching is I think when people are like attaching so much about being this weapon fucking elite closer, that's all they want to be. They're so attached to this certain outcome that you're not free flowing. You're not like being creative. You're not, people are jumping on the call and you're not being authentic, right? Whereas I think because we're focused on management, operating the vision in the future, you're like, yeah, you know, I'll jump on these calls. I don't usually jump on these calls, but you know, we're here, we'll just have a chat. But you're showing up so detached because you're already fucking 5 steps ahead building something else. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe that's the reason why you've had such a successful month is because you're not focused on being an elite closer, right? Because if you're the one that's doing sales training, maybe you're operating from the identity of, oh, I'm not good enough at sales. So you're showing up as someone that can't close. Whereas if you're showing up as the person that's already an operator and a manager and you're fucking elite, well, that person, cause and effect, is already going to be naturally good at sales. So, and that's why you're closing at 30% and you made basically 29K. So I don't want to put that in your mouth, but do you feel like that's the reason why you had such a successful month is because the identity that we're focused on is you're already 10 steps ahead of this, bro. Like closing is already a skill that you've got on the tool belt. It's not that deep at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I was gonna add on points, but you just spoke them out.
Go for it,
me.
please.
So, yeah, 100%. I'm operating from a version higher than a closer.
Yeah.
So, I know how to close.
Yeah.
The words come out my mouth as they're supposed to. They come out naturally, right? If you have a sales manager on a closing call, the conviction, the professionalism, the way they come off, the maturity is going to be higher than that of a closer because they've gone through what is required to be a leader.
Yep.
So I'm operating from that way. And it's interesting because even the boys, like the setters, they view me as that. And I'm like, wow, I have that responsibility now.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, 100%. That would be one of the, if not the biggest things.
Yeah.
That moved, and it was sort of the catalyst for everything else.
Yep.
To be where it's supposed to be and get to where it's supposed to get to.
So it's very interesting, right? Like how, and what I want to do is I want like people to understand this. So what were results like, and like how did you feel like confidence-wise in the call? Because you said something really important to me a couple of days ago. You haven't faced any resistance on calls in a long time. Why do you think that is?
Because they just trust you.
Yep.
Because you're coming off as a professional, right? You're not needy. You're not trying to get a sale, right? It's not the words that come out. Yes, there's a level of conviction, the way you speak, tonality, of course, right? But that's a byproduct of how I show up, the identity I hold. So they have alignment with that, right? Especially these A-type prospects where they think they're better than you to some degree. They're like, oh, just tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, listen here, like, this is our process.
Yep.
But you don't even need to force it down their throat. You don't need to put up a fight. You just come off just the words you say, the way you show up. They're like, okay, cool. Obviously, they have a process. It makes sense. Then the questions that come out are congruent with that identity.
Yep.
You're not asking a question and they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, why did you ask me that question? Right? Which is an instant turnoff because they realize you're not fully present.
Yep.
So yeah, looping that round.
It's some people probably watching this video expecting us to go really deep on like all these objection handling word tracks and tactics and this specific question and I've got this ninja process. It's like no, not really. I truly believe now, bro, that everything is downstream of identity. Like if you are just fucking showing up as the person that is like a weapon at sales, you have complete faith, conviction, and certainty within yourself that like, I'm already good at this shit. Like I already know how to do it. Think about us, bro. We're fucking human beings. We've been speaking for thousands of years. I've been speaking for 24 years. You've been speaking for 24 years.
Yep.
Like we know how to have a conversation with another human being. It's when you try and tack on all these like fucking word tracks and tactics that it becomes inauthentic. When you're selling to a sophisticated buyer that's going to be spending $50,000 with you, do you think they're going to be responding well to someone who's trying to take something from them? Let me use this tactic on it. Let me use this thing. Like, sure, yes, have a framework. We do training on a framework, right?
Yep.
Unsophisticated versus sophisticated pathway. There's still like a vague NEPQ kind of framework, but like you have that memorized in your head, but you don't fucking stay so rigid to it. Like I think what we're both learning, bro, is that there is a level of authenticity and connection that comes with actually not caring if they do it or not, that allows you to hold such a strong frame. With these sophisticated people, bro, it's not like you try and do that. You have to have that kind of frame when you're selling something. True high ticket, like 50 grand. Otherwise, dude, if you're trying to close them or use these tactics, they can sniff that shit out immediately and it's not going to work for you. So I want to ask you about your level of detachment, because it's very clear, and we talk about this on team meetings all the time, and I try and get you to share it with the boys, but where does that level of detachment come from? I label it as stoicism, and I think you're starting to lean into that and really understand what stoicism means. But there's a level of detachment that you have where it's like, if you made 29K this month or you made 3K, I genuinely don't think you would have felt any different. And you can correct me if I'm wrong there. But where's that come from? Like reps try and say, oh no, I'm detached, I don't care about the sale, but then they're tryhards, bro. Right? They're like, they're really trying really hard, when it's like sometimes you just gotta like let go. Where's that come from, that level of detachment? Because it's true detachment from what I've seen.
I think it's just a reinforcement that it's really not that deep. Like seriously, like this is not that deep. Money's not even fucking real. Like, you can go so deep on this conversation. I'm sure we could spend
Let's
5
do it,
hours
bro.
on it.
Yeah, fucking.
You know what I mean?
I think this is the bread and butter. Like there's a level of detachment which I think is the deepest cause that we can find for your performance, bro. From what I've studied over the past like 90 days, is your level of not give a fuck. Right, because you're not giving a fuck, but because you're not giving a fuck, you're not getting burnt out. Like, I want you to share this. You're not getting burnt out on calls, right? You had a massive month, but you're not like that tired, bro. You're not like wanting to quit sales. Like, you're just flowing, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, where the deepest stem of that detachment, which is, we're probably going to get a little bit spiritual here, but where does that come from?
Where does it come from? It's just how I view the world. Because I don't know how to say this and put it into words, but again, like, none of this is real. Like, all of us someday are going to die and are going to perish. And you're like fucking concerned about some fake metrics. Like, come on, like, open your eyes. Like, this is really, like, we're just playing a game and we're going to move on to another world, another reality, whatever that is, right? So it's really not that deep. And I don't know, like, if you keep, because we were talking about this on the meets, we're like, dude, it's not that deep. Like, come on, it's like words out your mouth. Yeah. But then it becomes part of your identity, and then it becomes part of your belief system, and then it becomes part of how you view things and how you operate. Yeah. So to those who are watching this, if you start reinforcing to yourself, hey, it's not that deep, there's going to be a little bit of detachment, a little bit more detachment. And it's going to be truthful detachment. It's not going to be, hey, I'm going to detach because it's going to get me a sale. Yeah. Like, that's not detachment.
You're still fucking more attached than you were before.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like a sales tactic.
100%, dude. And I think that's where people get it wrong. That's what I'm trying to help people understand, is like, oh yeah, you got to be detached from the sale. I'll just jump on the call and be loosey-goosey. It's like, no, you're still fucking trying really hard to get the sale because you're treating detachment as a tactic. Yeah. I think true detachment, bro, and I was sort of having this experience, you've really helped me reaffirm it over recent times, is like you can genuinely feel when you go deep down that, like, if shit works and it's popping off, awesome. If it's not, cool. It's like, it doesn't matter either way, bro, because you're right. I feel like we are playing a game. Whereas so many people are trying to rush things, and they're trying to force things into reality. So on that, that's probably one of the deepest things as to why I think you're able to perform so well, is because you're incredibly detached, bro. Money's not real. Like, it's really just like a fake asset and a fake resource. Going deeper into this as well, what else do you feel like you've learnt over the past 90 days? Because from when I first came on and saw you as that person, bro, to like where you are now, I don't think you would have been maybe this is a belief thing, that you would have been sat here filming this podcast, like having this conversation, let alone the beliefs of like content and stuff as well, right? But
yeah, we can dive into that as well.
What do you feel like? We can hand your beliefs in real time on the podcast.
Like, I'm an open book. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, really.
What else have you learnt, bro, over the last 90 days? Like, in the time that we've been spending together, what else do you feel like has contributed to success, or what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learnt?
You've opened the door. I made the conscious decision to walk through. So you've got to make that decision. Like, do you really want to do this? And if you do, then you're going to be 100% in. I don't use social media. I don't take photos. I hate putting myself out there. I'm sitting on a podcast. I'm going to launch my YouTube. I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. And I know that if I need to get to where I need to be within this game specifically, the game of, the online space, these are the steps I need to take. That's personal to me. Everyone has that something which they don't want to do. Yeah. You need to make a conscious decision. Where do I want to go? And accept that you have to do everything you want to do to get there. Yeah. Because the way, and we talked about this in dinner yesterday, like, it's black or white, at least how I see the world. It's, look, I'm gonna become incredibly rich and wealthy and have a huge impact on the world. I'm gonna grow within this space in business and in sales. Or I'm gonna become a monk. and I'm just gonna detach from the real world. And it's like, dude, come on, like, no, that's the truth. That's how I operate.
Yeah.
Right. And some will align, some won't. If you don't align, then maybe you don't have that edge to really go to where you need to be. Right. And it's not a shit on yourself, but that's reality. To get to where you want to be, there's got to be a level of intensity.
Yep.
Right. So so looping that round, you've got to make that decision.
You do. You've got to be all in. Miyamoto, how did I say it? Masashi, bro, wrote the Book of Five Rings. He said the way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death. Yeah. So it's like if you're in a sword fight, right, and you're in a sword fight, you got to pull out your sword. If you flinch, you're a little bit scared, bro, you're dead.
Yeah. You
don't have any time to flinch. You've got to be fully okay with death, which I think is a level of acceptance, which completely nullifies everything else. Yeah. We spoke about this at dinner last night. There's like a gray zone, right? Where like most people, like they're not committed to their goals because they always have an excuse they can fall back on. That if they fully committed to something, they're fully committed to like getting better at sales, posting content, putting themselves out there, then like the only reason you couldn't fail or couldn't succeed is on you. So many people are afraid to wear that and they're afraid to put themselves out there and face their fears. But most of the fucking beliefs that people have, bro, are not even real, dude. What did we uncover last night? Beliefs are just energy-saving mechanisms that protect you from going through pain, right? So what else do you feel like you learnt, bro, over the last 90 days that's really helped you succeed? What are some of the biggest lessons, principles that have allowed you to win?
Do you have some in mind that you want to prompt me on?
Yeah, there's a few. Like one of the diggest analogies I want to dive a little bit deeper on is shoot for the moon, land on the stars. For the boys that are specifically listening to this. Also just want to dive into a level of why you think sales reps or some people in the space are really struggling. Maybe they're really talented. Maybe they're really skilled. Maybe they're putting in a lot of effort, right? They're doing a fuckload of role plays, a fuckload of training. They're showing up, they're doing technically everything by the book to be elite at sales, but they're just not getting the results, right? Why is that? Like, and what other downfalls do you see, I guess, when it comes to sales reps?
Yeah, it's true, because I'm not a sales ninja. Like, but I'm not a sales ninja.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. You won't see me posting objection handling online and overcoming. They put too much pressure on themselves, and I've been in that position because I invested a lot of money each month to be elite in sales. And that's not a hit on the mentorship. If I did that mentorship now, I think it would potentially accelerate where I'm going to go. Right, because I align with that way now. They're putting too much pressure. They're trying to perform. It's performative. This is something which I dive deep into myself, is why am I so performative on calls? Is it insecurity? Maybe. Like, what is it? Why am I performative? And I neglect it. I just got rid of that. So you're putting too much pressure. Like, if I reinvest into sales training specifically now, look, you could, debate that I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. But how I'm viewing this personally, what I feel is if I invested into sales training right now, because I don't want to be a sales coach. I don't really want to be I know where I'm going. I know the path I'm heading. So I know where my energy and time needs to be focused on to get there as well. Sales is a stepping stone. So looping that round, if I did sales coaching now, I'm now holding the identity of a student. Holding the identity of that I'm not good enough.
Interesting.
So I don't know, is it arrogance? Is it just delusional confidence? Or is it, hey, I've already got to where I want to be. I'm already that version of myself. I'm reliving. I've gone back into the past. I'm from the future. I've gone in the past. I'm reliving this experience. Right? So, like you're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're deeping it too much. And I get it's difficult because, right, you need money and you've got goals. But that's the beauty of this. If you can detach when you need money the most, then when you start making money, you're just going to realize it's not even real.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. People put too much weight and importance on money. Money doesn't respect you. Like, does money look at you and go, I like you, you're a good person? Money is just money. It's like fucking water. Water is just water. Money, people attach so much emotion and people worship money. I think a little bit too much. But that's very interesting what you said there, bro. That you're not a sales ninja. What, like, you're telling me that you don't do like fucking 3 hours of objection handling and like we don't, you say you're telling me you don't do like all these role plays and
in secret,
you get
I do,
like,
bro.
hey?
In secret, I do. No,
Yeah, in secret you do.
I don't.
So you're telling me, bro, that like you can succeed and absolutely dominate in sales by focusing on showing up as the person
Yep.
who is already that version, and then automatically those things come to you because most sales reps already know what the fuck to say, bro. They've already studied the framework a shitload of times.
Yep.
More training isn't going to help you. If you know all the words, you've done all the study, you've done all the role play, but you're still not getting the fucking results, there's something beneath the surface. There's a level of you that clearly, maybe you feel like you don't deserve it. Maybe you feel like you are not worthy of it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you've probably got some fucked up beliefs that throw the script away for a minute, get out with Claude and just fucking start to get the scalpel out and understand why you're not making the money you want to make if you've got all the tools and resources you ever need. Now what I want to ask you, bros, we had this really good conversation last night on identity in sales and how some of the best salespeople have been through some of the worst experiences. And I'm reading this book on entrepreneurs. Most like hyper successful entrepreneurs, it's not that they're blessed with this vision and they're blessed with like foresight. They're running from some form of insecurity. The pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change so much that getting to 50 million, 100 million is far less painful than accepting this reality that they're running away from, right? They've got a scar and insecurity of some sort. So when you look at some salespeople, bro, some of them look like they drink soy milk and they're gay, right? And they fucking drink matcha and like I'm getting a little bit fucking I'm getting very specific here for some reason. You can tell when you look at some people's eyes, bro, whether it's a sales rep, whoever it is, that they probably have an electric heater, an electric blanket that they lay in at night or something. I don't know. I'm getting very specific here, bro. But
I understand where you're going with this.
How can you look at salespeople and just know if they've been through hardship? They've had some experience in their life which has like completely changed their identity. And why do you think that's important in sales, bro?
Yeah.
It's the anatomy of a killer.
Because
right?
this is something where like in regards to acquisition of new reps, this is something that we're looking for in the criteria. You can just tell. I don't know, maybe that comes with time, but you can just tell. You can see it in someone's eyes. Like, when we talked with each other, like on dinner, that was the first time we met each other. I don't know if you felt the same, but there was a level of intensity in your eyes, and I felt confident that I was like, because I align with that. I'm not sure where we're going with this question. Probe me one more time.
I'll ask you, bro. It's okay. Yeah, no worries, man. I can definitely re-loop on that and ask for you. Where like when you look at people. Why? Because I define it as life experience, right? You can tell that someone, he's been through some fucking shit, dude. And usually those people do really well in sales. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the people that have been through some tough shit that you look at and you know they've got life experience, why do you think those people do so much better in sales than people who've had a really soft upbringing? Or maybe they haven't been through some hard shit. Why do you think those people are just able to figure shit out and really win in sales and the others just can't?
It reconstructs your entire identity and biology. It provides this armor, this plated armor. Well, it could also do the opposite. It could cause you to become a victim in your life, right? Again, that's a conscious decision how you want to show up, right? Bad things happen to me. Am I going to take it and grow from it because it's a growth opportunity? Am I going to curl up in a ball and cry? The decision is yours. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So it's so important and it's so clear, like the evidence is there. Any rep that's done well, that from what we've seen, especially on this offer, they've gone through some shit. They've experienced something which has changed their perspective, the way they see things. Maybe there's a level of detachment. They realize it's not that deep. They've had a near-death experience, right? Maybe they've been put in a situation where their primitive self has been tested. Because we live in such a soft world right now.
Most people are pussies, bro.
Most people are pussies, and it's true. Like, there's a decline in testosterone in men. And it's not to be macho or macho or macho.
Yeah,
You got it.
matcha.
Matcha.
Soy
Matcha?
milk.
How do you pronounce the?
Soy milk. Yeah, you look at you can look at someone and just know they drink soy milk, bro. You're like, you're a soy boy.
That's it. Yeah, like but you can just tell.
Just say it, bro. Just tag along.
But it's like they can still make that conscious decision to make a change.
Yeah, 100%.
But regardless, like anyone that we've seen who's gone through something, there's just a way. They're just more concrete.
Yep.
They're more human. They're more real. They're more alive.
Yeah, they're more full, bro. It's like they're more complete, right?
Yeah.
It's very true, and I'll prompt you here with a deeper question, but I think so many sales reps today, like if you've been through some shit, or you've got some scars, or you've got like family issues, or you've run away from home, maybe you don't have a relationship with your parents, maybe your dad hasn't been a good role model, and maybe he's not this big alpha, like who knows? I don't know what your fucking background is or where you've come from, but like use your fucking past, use the hardship that you've been through to like leverage that to fucking do well in sales. The whole thesis of this conversation, you can tell that we haven't gone very deep on tactics because it's not about the fucking tactics. What's allowed Jack to perform really well over the past 90 days is all we've really focused on is identity, right? Yep. Who does Jack need to show up as to really succeed in sales? And other people that have come through that have been really obsessed with being this elite ninja at sales just haven't fucking made it, bro. They haven't made it through because they're showing up as the identity of someone that's not good. So all this entire thesis of this conversation is like the anatomy of a killer is someone that has been through some really hard shit that's probably got some scars, which is showing them the reality of life, that everything is really not that fucking deep in the first place, and that succeeding in sales. My old mentor, my old salesman, used to always say to me, if taking sales calls is the hardest part of your day and you get nervous about taking sales calls, you're a pussy. Like you need to do some harder shit because you clearly don't have enough reference points for what hard actually is. You clearly don't have enough reference points for like, oh my God, I've just run 200 kilometers and I've fucking nearly died like 3 times and I've overcome myself. I feel like my spirit has broken and like I've been out here for nearly 18 hours on this track. And then you're like, or you've been in a fight, bro, you've been punched in the face, and like that animalistic primal self wakes up and just goes, holy fuck, we could die. I've got to protect myself. If you've never experienced that, what it feels like to be a true primal man, then the contrast, it's called contrast therapy. It's like you then jumping on a sales call, like, oh my God, I'm scared to like challenge this 40-year-old man that's like jumping on the call with me. Like all that to say, bros, I think the life experience is so vital for people, and you can just, jumping on interviews now, like you can just see in someone's eyes when they've been through some shit, or the way they talk, the way they're so comfortable with themselves, that is always going to trump everything else, right? So if the hardest thing you have to do on your daily basis is take sales calls, and you get nervous to take sales calls and challenge another human being about reaching their highest potential and getting out of their own way and face their own fears, you clearly haven't done enough deep work within yourself to feel like you're worthy of it, right? Reality is just a mirror. If you're working on yourself and you're going really deep, you can only go as deep with others as you go as deep with yourself, right? So I think the true anatomy of why so many salespeople do well is it's not the tactics or the script that they have or the specific word tracks. It's just the fucking shit that they've been through, the pain that they've experienced, and the amount of contrast they have to help them realize that sales is really not that fucking deep at the end of the day. Plus, I don't know about you, I don't want to be taking sales calls for like 20 fucking years, bro. It's just a fucking warm up. We're going to be in business doing fucking big shit for a long period of time.
It's a stepping stone.
Yeah. So on a bit of a ramble then, bro, I just think it's so important for so many guys, just like grab your fucking nuts and do some hard shit. If you listen to that and you're like, oh my God, like I haven't really, done that much hard shit. I've been punched in the face. Like I do get a little bit nervous to like take calls, or I'm scared what these guys think of me and how they look at me. Go and fucking sign up for jiu-jitsu, for boxing. Go and sign up for like an ultra marathon. Go and approach some girl in public, and then she goes, ew. And then that's going to fucking go, oh my God, I need to change myself. Like do some shit that's going to challenge you, and then I can guarantee you're going to be doing so much better on calls.
Or don't. Like you don't have to do anything. Like you can just stay where you are, operate the same version of yourself, and potentially there's going to be some consequences as a byproduct. But looping that round, I want to add is what's more comfortable. hopping on YouTube, watching how to objection handle an Indian that gives you a price objection, or doing the deep work on yourself.
This is interesting. This is very interesting, right? Because do you think it's comfortable and it's easy watching someone handle the objection? I feel like I'm making progress because I'm learning how to handle this objection and do it. Or do you feel like I want to ask you this, the surface level, which is like the conscious mind, is like, if I just know the tactic to help them overcome this objection, I can use it. But in reality, it's not that, it's what's beneath the surface that helps so many guys you see actually overcome objections, is their identity just doesn't accept that. It's like, no, I don't even accept that in my reality. Like, did you hear what you just said? Like, you're giving me a price objection when you want to achieve, like you're saying you want to achieve all your goals and do these things, and now you give me a partner objection? Like, come on, it's just so incongruent. But if you're not congruent with yourself first, right, and you give price objections or you give fear objections with yourself, you don't put yourself out there on content, I think that's what we're trying to say with this, bro. It's like 95% of sales and succeeding is how you're showing up and how you believe yourself to be. Because then you don't even accept the objection in the first place. Then
Doesn't
the
exist.
words, the word track, does it just naturally come to you?
Funny
You
how the
naturally know what
words
to
just
say?
flow out your mouth
I know,
when you
It's
operate from that
fascinating.
version. Hey? Magic.
What do you think about that, bro? Do you think that is the layer below? It's just like it's just your identity and what you accept to be true, your belief system, then the words flow.
Yeah,
Like
I do.
Do you think if guys worked on that first, that they were being congruent with themselves first before doing other shit, they would actually get results? Or what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, chances are if you're watching this video, you've got some experience in sales. You've done the work in terms of the scripts, you know the frameworks, you know how a sales call should go, right? There's different ways you can go down a sales call. There's different scripts, but they all run through the emotion. You understand that pattern.
Yep.
What you don't understand or what you're not aligning with is that those words have no power if you're not operating from the version that can actually help them.
Yep.
Right? If you can't operate as that version that generally has that identity, then you're not going to be able to help.
Yep.
And you're bullshitting yourself and you're bullshitting them.
Yep.
And it's weak, and they can sense it on a spiritual level, whether you like it or not. They are judging everything you do, how you come across on a call. They are judging you.
Yep.
If you're a little bit like needy, a little bit jitty, they're turned off, especially with these A-type prospects.
Bro, 100%, dude.
Right?
100%.
They'll walk all over you.
Think about this, right? If you're going to be spending, like, there's so many, like, I've learned so much since getting into this, because there's just levels, there's ways of thinking that most people don't just understand. Like cause and effect. It's the most basic fucking one ever. So many people just don't get that, right? It's like, you don't have the conscious ability to understand why you're stuck, why you're not making money. Like, if you keep getting a fucking objection, wouldn't you step back and go, hang on a second, what if I learn how to overcome this? Or if you've made 10K a month for the past 6 months and you're not making any more, why don't you fucking zoom out and go, I wonder why I'm doing that? It's probably because I keep doing the same things. If I started doing those actions, because all you've started doing, bro, is we've reverse engineered who you need to be and who you need to show up as. And then cause and effect. If you do the actions that person does on a daily basis, you're probably going to get the same results that person gets. Whereas if you do the actions of a closer that's subpar identity, that isn't good at sales, and you're doing the actions of that person, you're going to get that fucking result. That's cause and effect. Most people don't even understand that. So I feel like I've learned so much within that, but there's just ways of thinking that people don't even consider, bro, which is holding them back drastically. You know.
Can I add a point onto that?
Please, bro.
It goes back to the energy saving mechanism, right?
Yep.
We you know, as humans, like, really, we should just be cavemen to some degree, right? We should be living much more simpler lives. Figuring out where am I going with this? It's going to come back to me. Yeah, so here we go. Again, we are telling you what we've done, what we've aligned with, and to get the results, but you've got to make that decision because you're going to have to put in more work. I've had to make sacrifices. Like, I'm very big on training in Muay Thai. Like, I've had to make sacrifices and not go to training sessions to take extra calls, to do follow-ups. Like, I had to make a decision there. Am I going to sacrifice that for this? It was difficult. I didn't want to do it. I did it. Now it's normal. right? I'm still managing to train, but it's like not at the same intensity.
Yep.
Right? So you've got to make that decision. Again, like I'm on film right now.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself out there.
Yep.
I'm going to make a YouTube. I'm going to start posting content. This has been one of the biggest roadblocks for me because I've never used social media, not for like years and years. I deleted it. I don't want to put myself out there.
Yeah.
Right? But to get to where I want to be, I have to do this.
Yep.
So it's congruency.
Yep.
And some of you may think, oh, you just like make it like you're just posting a video.
Yeah.
That's fine, but it's subjective.
Yeah.
Right? For me, that is the biggest thing, and I'm doing it. I'm here. You're looking at me right now. So again, you need to make the decision. Like, do you actually want to do this? Like, don't just do it because you think you need to do it. Do it because you want to, because you're going to have to love the game.
Yeah.
Right? I've started to really love the game. I was thinking, like, why do people like work so hard, and like, why are they so obsessed with business and growing? In that respect, like, I would rather just be a beach bum. Like, I want to be healthy, look good, take care, have a nice family. Great. I still want those things, but I don't need to like be aggressively scaling in business. But that's because I didn't identify with the game, and now I do. I'm now a player in the game. So make that decision. Do you want to be a player in the game, or do you just want to be a normie or whatever? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to close you on this idea, but you've got to make that fucking decision, and you have to make that decision and stick to it.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of work to come.
Yep.
A lot of work. Like, there's many days where I thought, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is difficult. This is shit.
Yeah.
But I still showed up each day.
Yeah.
It's what you have to do to get to where you want to be. If that's where you want to be, right?
Yeah. It's some people are probably watching this thinking these guys are just intense, bro. They're just talking like these guys. Fuck, man, they're just like a little bit too much.
I think we're a bit mellow, to be honest, bro. We could.
Yeah, I mean, we could. Yeah,
we could go up a notch.
I could definitely bring out some fucking some slurs if we needed to.
Yeah.
Why not? What I want to touch on now though, because we're 60 minutes in, and we've gone very deep on identity and personality and spirituality, on like showing up as the right person, all that kind of stuff. There's no word tracks that we've given these people. I want to go a little bit left of field for maybe your family that's watching. Yeah. Or maybe
mum and dad.
Yeah. There's like they're probably listening, going like, what even is like yeah, but what do you sell? Like, what is sales? Yeah. When you say a sales, like, what do you mean? Yeah. I want to handle this objection for a lot of people now. Like, are we scammers? Like, are we involved in a pyramid scheme? Like, do we take people's money and then never talk to them again? And then like we get do we get people in the program, and then they get more people in the program, and then they get more people in the program? Do we scam people? No. Like, what do we do, bro? At a first principle level, what is sales? What are the sales calls that we take? Are we doing legitimate, real business? Like, what do we do? Probably for your family and friends that are listening.
Simple. What we do is the same thing that got me to this position right now.
Yep.
Just a different vehicle.
Yep.
Like, I started off bartending, did a bit of construction,
Yep.
Now I'm here, making more money than most people.
Yep.
Achieving things I didn't think I could achieve, becoming that version. We're providing that opportunity for other people with a different vehicle. I'm not going to dive into specifics of the offer. I don't think we should.
No, we don't have to. We can keep the offer private. I guess with because a lot of people will look at high ticket sales or the sales thing that we do, and I guess I can explain this, right? It's like for the people that are listening that may be a little bit skeptical, that think, oh, these guys, they're making a lot of money. They've got to be scamming people. First of all, you're gay. Sorry, but first of all, you're gay. Like, if you believe that anyone that makes a large amount of money online is a scammer, I'm telling you, it is genuinely just a belief that you've been given to hold you back from making more money, because what we do is actually more impactful and has more purpose than you working a corporate job, staying stuck in your little comfort zone, in your little echo chamber of misery. So we're getting really targeted today, bro. So apologies in advance.
It's all from a place of compassion, though.
It is. It's like
it's intense, but it's compassion.
I know. It's the truth, right? Yeah. You need to expose yourself to more truth so that you can. The way you change a belief is through new evidence. New evidence forces you to actually challenge your beliefs and realize that they're not real in the first place, and then you have to grow. We do not scam people, all right? We do not take people's money and run off to the hills. You can teach people how to acquire a certain object, whether you're teaching someone how to build their own e-commerce brand, right? And then they can build a real legitimate business selling products online, and then they can go and leave their job, right? Maybe you're teaching people how to scale their business, right?
Yeah.
Construction businesses, earthwork, like anything to do with real estate businesses, right? Maybe you're teaching people how to acquire their own real estate property and then build a certain project to make more money. Real legitimate businesses that you're teaching people how to do. Now, the whole coaching side of things, how that comes into it is you pay people to teach you a new set of skills, right? If you think that online money is a scam, I'll ask you, if you went to university, how much did you pay for university? University is a fucking scam. They take 60K, 100K, and then you leave with this massive HECS debt, and they give you a job, which is the number one thing that's making you miserable and depressed for the rest of your life. So university is more of a scam than fucking like teaching people how to get into real estate, for example. It frustrates me, and I get really pissed off about it when you see sales reps and even just the normal people use it as a cope and use it like a coping mechanism or like an escape. They don't have to chase their goals or get uncomfortable or do what they want to do, because it's easier to just believe that online money is a scam or online money is not real or it's not even possible. When if you actually challenge that belief and face the truth, well, now you've overcome that belief, right? Now you actually have to go and do the work. Imagine if you actually believe that making $29,000 a month was possible. Now you've actually got to go and do the work. That's so much harder than just believing it's not possible and believing that it's not real, right? So let's switch topics a bit. Do you have any questions for me, bro?
Yeah, I'm curious to know, because for my own development as well, I've been mimicking, and you've been going deep in terms of the operational side of things.
Yes.
Within the
back end.
Yeah, the back end.
Yeah.
Management, operations. So I'm curious to know, bro, what would you say the biggest lessons you've taken so far from starting this journey? Because it's insane the shift the whole team has had. And look, I know like a lot of team members have gone, but you've refined the offer, refined the team, so there's full alignment there. So what have you done which has allowed us to hit the numbers we have?
It's a good question. There's a certain lens and there's a certain philosophy with management and consulting that is so left of field and completely different to closing and setting, right? The first thing is, it's like you, as a closer and as a setter, you're very individual. It's like the only mission you have is I need to get paid. Like I need to fund myself, because if you're not performing, then you don't get put on the top of the leaderboard. There's a certain hierarchy. Management and consulting now, bro, is very, very different because it's a systems lens, right? Like you're running your own business inside of the business, whereas what I'm managing is the overall system. So it's not just, hey, let's do some role plays. It's like, how do we increase the show rate to get more bookings on the calendar while also increasing the cash collected per book call, the average order value, and then also just in general, bro, like, how do we get this setting? Like there's so many components that go into it. I'd say there's about 5 skills, whereas closing is just 1 skill, just fucking close.
Yep.
So one of the biggest things I've learned recently, dude, is there's a very clear divide between managing people and then overall just managing the system and having a clear data lens. So what this means is if you're a sales rep, you can still learn the system mechanics. You can still learn how to run your own business, right? The offer, if you look at a sales team or you look at an offer just in general, there's a certain flow that it goes through from top down. So obviously leads that come in, then there's a setting engine, the closing engine, different mechanics you can do to pull more cash from the system. The way I look at it now, dude, is I always look from like a diagnostic lens. So from the management lens, there's always something called an epistemic constraint. The epistemic constraint is the number one thing, the number one blockage in the pipe that's restricting cash flow the most. Me, as the manager or the consultant, my main focus is always fixing that one constraint. I don't care if you want to do more sales training, if you want to like make more money. I care and I get paid when the business makes more money. So I care more about the business and the founder, and I'm going to put that first over your fucking feelings, dude. So yes, there's been people that have come and go, but why do you think that is? It's because there's a certain level of standard that the team needs to meet. That it's like, the numbers are the numbers, bro. Like this is the KPI you need to hit. These are the standards. I know the kind of person you need to be hitting those standards, the kind of internal world that you need to have, the kind of self-image you need to have, the kind of skills you need to have to hit those numbers. So I don't have to push you to do things. This is the standard. You either meet that standard or you self-select yourself to leave. That's why we have an elite team, because I've tested every single person on their identity and their skill set, and they've leaned in. I don't need to push people to show up and perform, because there is a system. Donella Meadows has this book called Systems Thinking, right? She says when you know every single component of the system and how it behaves, right? A system is an interdependent, the easiest way to, a system is a set of variables combining together to achieve a certain outcome. Think of a car, you've got the tires, the chassis, the steering wheel, the accelerating pedal. If you remove one of those components, nothing happens. But if you know how the steering wheel behaves, the seat behaves, the accelerator, then you know how they're gonna act and behave together. All I've done and all management is building a system that is separate to the team members. It's just a system where if the people in the system behave the way they're supposed to behave, then it gets an outcome every single time. So that's what I mean when I say systems thinking, bro. It's not like this cool flow charts and maps. It's like, no, a system, it is, if you can predict how the system's gonna behave and you can set the conditions for how it needs to behave to get a certain result, all you need is the things inside of it to behave the way they're supposed to behave, and you get the result every time. So that's all we've done, bro. The reason we've been able to go from 240K to 640K in like a little under 90 days, bro, is purely because of that, right? Yeah. I'm putting the business first. I'm thinking from a scientific lens. There's a scientific approach to taking one step at a time and always removing the biggest bottleneck at a given time. So that's my data systematic lens. There's another video where I dive super deep into that, but yeah, hopefully that helps, bro. That's my way of viewing things. I've learned so many lessons from that now as well. And yeah, I think when you're going from closer to operator, I think your closing skills are important, but your sales skills do not correlate into how good of a manager you're going to be at all. So people, that's why you see like Mindful is like the rock star rep, right? Like just because you're a really good closer or you're the top rep on the team does not mean you're going to be a good manager, right? Sure, you can maybe train other reps to get into KPI, but how can you identify when the offer has a massive gap for introducing a high ticket? How do you know the marketing side of things when maybe the people showing up to the calls aren't receiving the right amount of education or trust pre-call? Like how are you able to identify when a team member can't meet KPI, and just because you have something called confirmation bias because you really like the person? So your closing skills and your setting skills have no correlation to how good you're going to be at managing or consulting. That's what I've realized. Sure, it's a bonus, but it's how well can you understand consulting? How well can you understand systems thinking and systems theory? How well can you understand marketing, right? These things are far more important, because you as a manager or consulting get paid when the company overall makes more money, not when you make more money. So you always have to be fixing the number one problem that's holding down cash the most. It seems so fucking simple, but I think a lot of guys don't actually understand that. Sam Ovens is probably the greatest thinker I've ever come across. Elon Musk, right? I mean, the GOATs, I'm going to mention him here, but like Jack Rocky has probably the most unique thinking, because he's based in a first principles scientific lens, and that's everything that I know, right? But it's very detached from sales and closing people. You are managing a system. So I've just thrown a lot at you then, but...
Yeah. Well, this is something we've been going over in our one-to-ones as well. You know, the operational side of things, and it's true, you're very autistic with the data. And at the start, I just didn't understand it progressively, and now I 100% align with the importance of data.
Yep.
Right? Fill in your data sheet.
Yep.
Right? You have a complete bird's eye view of everything. And you've been very clever with Claude as well. I don't want to dive into that and give away your source, but you've been very strategic with Claude and fully systemizing everything. And so with that in mind, I'm curious, what is the biggest challenge you've experienced since stepping into the role of management, and what have you done to counterfeit and overcome that to get to where you have with our team?
That's a good question, man. The biggest challenge was being able to identify, and this is why I focused so deep on it in the first part of the podcast. It was purely just being able to identify the anatomy of a killer. Like how, if you could like build the perfect sales rep that's going to come onto an account and crush it, Like, what would you build them with? Like, that's what I've had to learn, because teaching is the highest form of understanding something, right? Because if I can teach you something and then you can go and use it and apply it and get results, well, clearly I understand it. Proof is in the pudding. I don't want to take claim, you've done the work, but like the things that I've taught you over the past 90 days, you've just taken them and used them and you get results. Cause and effect, you do these actions, you get these results. So how can I bottle that up and make that a systemized process to make sure that every rep that comes on the team, whether you're a setter or a closer, wins? That's been the biggest learning curve. I wouldn't say it's been a challenge, I'd say it's been a learning curve, because you have to be able to explain things to another human being at a first principle level, which is easy to understand, where they can just go and do it. So 5th grade reading level, that's been the biggest challenge. There were a couple of reps that came on early on that, maybe I didn't identify them properly, and they, first of all, weren't going to fit inside of the team. They didn't have the skills I thought they would. And we all know sales reps, bro, they're phenomenal on interviews, right? I'm a sales rep myself. I know how to swindle things, I know how to make myself sound better than what I actually am. So that's been the biggest learning curve, bro. But now that we've set the conditions, and that's why we went so deep on this in the beginning, because if you're a sales rep and you can just take what we've been speaking about, or you can just like adopt those traits where it's like being a fucking killer, like putting yourself in really uncomfortable situations and getting in a point where you know that you've been tested and that the sales calls are so fucking easy. That's what I look for now. Like, hire for attitude, train for skill. That's what I've learned. I tried hiring for skill and training for attitude, where it's not, bro. Hire for attitude, train for skill.
Yep.
So I think that's the biggest challenge I've had to learn. But now what have we done? We've got 2 reps that have come on board in the past like 30 days. They're both into KPI. One of them had his first 20K month in his first full 30 days. Because of a good ramp and because of good training, the proof is in the pudding now, bro. So that was the first thing that caught me off guard. That's been the biggest challenge for sure, is being able to identify and like look in your eyes and go, I know you're going to win. I know you're going to be a killer. And I truly believe now, bro, that the skill does not matter. Purely just comes down to your level of life experience, your level of detachment, and your level of, I'm going to figure this shit out no matter what. That's what a good sales rep is, bro, setter or closer.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, we can see that. I don't want to name names here, but Tyler, for example, bro, right? This is like his first real fucking role.
Yeah.
And what's he like, within 3 months, bro? He just had his first like 8 or 9K month. And I had a conversation with him, not yesterday, the day before. Like jumped on a one-time with him and like, hey man, like, how do you feel about doing content? Oh, I don't know, bro. Like, maybe we could film this video. I'm like, what would it take to you to film a video this afternoon? He's like, fuck. And then, you know what he did, bro? He just went and filmed it and he posted it. Fucking action taker, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can't teach that, dude.
Yep.
You can't teach that. That's the thing that I think nobody has and is really rare to find today.
Yeah. Our team, the setters, the closers, everything's very tight. There's full alignment. We all hit the standards. It's just our idea. It's like there's no question about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the setters are the engine of the sales team.
Yep.
And I think people undermine how important they are, right? And so as a closer, like, they will also look up to you.
Yeah.
Right? Because 9 times out of 10, they want to be stepping into that position at some point in time when due is cause. And so you've got to make sure that when you're communicating with your setters, for example, like, you abide by those standards. Don't have a little chit chat and don't put in, don't hold a bad identity with that. You've got to be completely congruent, especially with the setters, because they're the engine of the sales, right? And looping that round, like, the team that you've created and crafted and chiseled, like, it makes me realize and align the importance of standards as everyone being in alignment. Because you just move, like, you can just feel, especially with the end of last month, there was so much energy and so much momentum. And it's just like everyone's just... Because if you don't match those standards, you're going to be left behind. And then that's a clear distinction to say, hey, like, what are we going to do about this? Where are we going to go from here?
Exactly, bro, right? Like, there were people that self-selected them, like the people that left on the team over the past 2 months because couldn't meet the standard. Nothing wrong with, if you can't do it, there's nothing wrong with you as a person. It's just that elite sales teams and elite offers have high standards. And it's like, it's just black and white, bro. If you can't meet the standard, go and work on yourself, right? Like, sure, I'd love to spend the time doing that with you, but we're going to the moon and we have really high standards. And it's just like, I think that's what people miss on a team today is first of all, I think it stems from leadership. But at the second time, bro, I'll say this again, I just created an environment which is conducive of success. If you join the team and you do these actions and you meet this standard, you get results. That's why every single sales rep on the team had a record month last month, right? First of all, we introduced a higher tier offer, which required everybody to level the fuck up. Stop being a gay little high ticket sales rep, right? You're wearing a fucking baseball cap and a tank top on the fucking calls, and like you think you can go to the beach for a couple of hours a day. It's like true salespeople that make lots of money are actually advisors. They view themselves as somebody that is trustworthy of a $50,000 investment. If I jumped on a call with you and you're a high ticket sales rep, I think you're gay and I wouldn't trust you, right? It's just the facts, bro. So I've just created an environment where people need to step up and meet that standard. So yeah, it's really important, bro. One of like my mentor, bro, says a championship team over a team of champions, right? A team of champions is a bunch of A-types that don't really get along, and sure, you could probably maybe make more money doing it that way, but the team's not going to be consistent. It's going to fall apart. It's going to be very hard to manage that system because you could do really well and the next month you could do really bad. So a championship team is everyone has a role, right? Everyone has, maybe there's a star on the team. Maybe everyone knows what their position is, but you're so interweaved and interconnected that you understand how everyone's feeling, and you can just easily substitute and make sure that the team is going to succeed. That's why all the numbers were in the green and we're doing really well. So I think also a couple of things we introduced were like webinars that, you know, when you launch these new pathways and you have more leads coming in, it gives the team conviction. So there's a lot of levers that we pulled on the back end, like the tier 2 offer, webinars, bro, even doing like a low ticket offer. So you're squeezing the most amount of money from the wealthy clientele in the CRM. You're squeezing the most amount of money from the average client in the CRM, and then also a lower tier and a financial year offer, which is scooping up as much cash as possible. So yeah, it's very interesting, bro. But why do you think that, you know, people are able to meet that standard? Why do you think some people just can't meet that standard? Because you are the only person left on the team from the original crew when I first came on, right? And do you think I just raised the bar and set a certain standard that people needed to match, or was I like forcing people to get better? I was trying really hard. Like, why are you the only person left out of that original team?
You set the standard, and the standard was progressively increasing as well, right? But you set the standard from day one. It was very clear. But it was very clear that it's our decision whether we want to hit that standard or not. Just in a sales, you were detached, right? You were detached whether we stay or not. And like, you were very, how can I say? I'm not trying to make you blush here, bro, but you're just very compassionate as well.
Yep.
Very stern, but compassionate. And you set the standard, and it was our decision whether we abide by it or not. And you gave us a bit of a chance, and if you did, great, we continue, and if not, then this isn't the right fit.
Yep.
And that's just the simple truth. You're not trying to get us to stay. You don't need us to stay. That's the frame you should hold. The same when you're closing a deal. You don't need them to close.
Yep.
You don't need us to stay.
Yep.
Right? But yeah, that is, you set the standard. It was our decision whether we choose to abide by it or not.
Yeah. Done, bro. I think we can probably wrap things up there. I think it's been a pretty good podcast.
Yeah.
It's probably been a little bit intense, but for those of you that need to understand, it's like one of the biggest lessons I've learned that I think Jack has said without actually saying it is when you completely challenge your beliefs down to the root core, like if you can just change your beliefs about something, the result takes care of itself. Right? Like if you can go so deep internally and challenge your beliefs to the root core and force yourself to get new evidence that requires you to actually take new actions, new experiences, cause and effect. Hopefully it's done that, right? Cognitive dissonance. You need to get friction. You need to challenge your own beliefs about what you think is possible, how much money you think you can make, because the more you can challenge your beliefs, you're either going to strengthen one belief, which is reaffirming your current belief system, cool, you're going to do more action, or you're going to get new evidence and challenge your beliefs, which is going to require you to actually change and do other things. So it's been less tactical, this video. It's been more like belief identity focused, because the true root cause of why Jack has had great success, going from like 11K to 29K, the reason why I've had success scaling and managing this offer from 240 to 640K is beliefs are the root core of everything. If you truly believe that you can actually do it, and you truly believe the result is possible, and you're not gay and you don't drink soy milk, then it is possible. So
Yep.
I think that's the root cause. And then sure, we can do another video where we talk about the actual tactics of it, like the webinars, the offers, all that kind of stuff. But the 80-20, right, the root cause of why success has happened so much over recent times is because, unfortunately, it is as simple as that. It's just the belief systems that we carry, which is allowing us to succeed, right? Would you agree on that, or would you disagree? How do you feel?
I mean, 100% alignment with that, bro.
Yeah.
100% alignment. Identity is the most important thing, and you're going to feel stretched when you're actually taking the right actions and you're operating from that version. You will feel stretched, right? Because you may think you're doing what you need to be doing, but like, what do you feel? Like, do you feel the same, or do you feel stretched? Because you're killing your old self. You're going to be stretched. Your frequency is going from lower to higher. It's going to be uncomfortable. Embrace that. Appreciate that. That is your evidence that you're getting to where you need to be. And remember, there's no like break with this. There's no break. This is something I've learned. You're not going to hit a milestone and then that's it. You're going to be like content. Life is good. You're magic. Like, life is amazing. No, you're going to continue to be stretched and continue to grow. That is the game you've committed to. Accept it, because that is what is required of you, right? So yeah, if you feel stretched, then you're doing something right. And if you don't, then you need to look inwards and outwards and figure out, what could I be doing differently? What do I need to add into my life in order for me to start moving towards that direction?
100%, dude. Well, I'm keen to see the results. The crazy thing is, we've only really been working together for 90 days, dude.
Yeah.
Right, and I think we've got some really big plans moving forward as well. This is just the beginning for what is possible. Hopefully you learn from something from this. If you're a setter or you're a closer, the identity and showing up as the version of yourself that you need to be is far more important than the skill set. You already know all the fucking skills. You probably already watched all the objection handling. You've probably got a good script. You're just a bit of a pussy, right? It just being completely honest. You probably don't believe in yourself enough. If you're a manager or a founder and you watch this video, the philosophy when it comes to managing and scaling is building a system which is conducive of success. So you don't have to be as deeply involved in the training all the time. If you can just build a system which is only going to produce a certain result, that's how you do it. If you want more in-depth knowledge on how I do that, specifically with the system side of things, there is another YouTube video called How to Double a Sales Team's Revenue in 90 Days, where I break down the actual tactical systems behind it. I'm going to be doing more videos breaking down how I took the team from 247 to 642,000, and now we're scaling to $1 million per month. But if you're a founder or someone that owns an offer and you want help, click the link in the description, fill out an application, and we can have a look. If you're a setter or a closer and you want to join the team and start making fuck you money, head to the link in my Instagram bio. There's a setter application and a closer application. Again, we run a really tight screening process, so good luck on making it through. Otherwise, I hope you got value from the video, bro. And it's been nice knowing you, bro. We're just getting started. Much more to come.
Bro. Excited for the journey ahead.